Today, we're exploring some really empowering strategies for aging with, well, vitality and grace.
That's right. We've looked at expert insights to really pull out the core ideas for feeling and living your best, whatever your age.
And we're excited to share what we found. Our goal is really to give you clear, actionable steps.
Yeah, and some surprising facts too, things you can actually use without getting sort of overwhelmed by too much jargon.
Absolutely. We know aging well involves a whole mix of things, right? Nutrition, oxygen.
Oxygenation,
Right.
definitely, and movement.
Mm.
They all play a part.
So, we're going to explore the practical techniques and the kind of underlying philosophy for a vibrant life.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Okay, let's start with maybe the foundational idea that kept coming up, this concept of alkalinity.
Ah, yes, alkalinity. A core belief here is that no chronic disease can really thrive in an alkaline environment.
That's a strong statement. So the focus is on shifting the body towards alkaline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moving away from acidity. And it's kind of surprising how much in modern life actually pushes us towards being more acidic.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's not just food, is it? It's environmental stuff too.
Totally. Things like mold exposure,
Hmm.
chemicals you might encounter in, say, nail salons or from hair treatments,
Right?
even just general air and water pollution. It all adds up.
And then there's the diet side. The obvious things, maybe.
Well, yeah, the processed foods we often reach for pizza, cakes, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Refined sugar, refined flour, foods that tend to cause inflammation in the system.
Okay, so environment, diet.
Yeah.
What else contributes to this acidity?
Stress is a big one. Emotional stress, just a tough day at work.
Mm-hmm.
That has a physical impact. And then internally, you've got things like toxins building up, maybe imbalances with bacteria, yeast, mold.
Fungus, parasites. It sounds like a lot.
It can be, plus inflammation itself and even lactic acid from exercise.
Wow. So the sources are saying alkalizing is the key, maybe the only way to really fix that acidity.
That's the strong message, yes. That moving toward alkaline is presented as the fundamental way to counteract all that.
And how do they suggest doing that? Is it all about supplements?
Actually, no. There's a really big emphasis on clean, high-quality nutrition. Real food.
Not synthetic supplements.
Right. There's a caution that synthetic ones might not be absorbed well and could even burden the liver because the body tries to store them if it can't use them.
Interesting. So real nutrition over isolated or synthetic form.
Exactly. It's a whole food philosophy. And it even extends to, like, avoiding alcohol in skincare or petroleum in creams. Small things, but they add up.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's shift gears a bit. Oxygenation. We all breathe, obviously, but how does that play into aging?
Well, the connection made is pretty direct.
Yeah.
Higher oxygen levels seem to correlate with slower aging,
And lower oxygen.
faster aging. The surprising part is that many of us, just through our normal, maybe shallow breathing, aren't actually getting enough oxygen.
Really? So what can you do? Are we talking complicated breathing techniques?
Not necessarily to start. They suggest something really simple.
Yeah.
Just taking a couple of minutes, maybe every couple of hours, for deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
That's simple.
Yeah. And the potential payoff is, better energy, clearer thinking.
I can see that. It reminds me of hyperbaric chambers, right? Where you get high oxygen concentration.
Exactly. That's a more extreme example, but people often report feeling really alert, relaxed, even less stiff after using one.
Yeah.
It shows the power of oxygen.
So just consciously breathing deeper could make you feel more energized, more focused.
That's the idea. Doing it before, say, a workout or a presentation makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And interestingly, some sources even talk about certain products acting almost like a hyperbaric oxygen chamber in a bottle.
Meaning they help the body oxygenate itself better.
Precisely. Supporting oxygenation at a cellular level through nutrition.
Fascinating. Okay, let's move on to another big one. Movement.
Ah, yes. Movement is definitely highlighted. There's a stark quote. If the body's not moving, the body is going to age rather fast.
Can't get much clearer than that. And it's not just about cardio, is it? Flexibility seems key too.
Absolutely key. Flexibility often declines with age, which affects everything. But simple stretches can make a huge difference.
What kind of stretches are we talking about?
Really accessible ones. You can even start in bed, like leg crossovers, or pulling your knee to your chest gently. Great for the lower back and joints.
Things you can do right when you wake up.
Exactly. And then maybe on the floor, sitting and reaching for your toes or ankles again, good for lower back strain. Angled leg stretches too.
And the key is?
Holding them. Holding each stretch for at least 10 seconds, letting the muscle respond.
Right. And what about just general activity like walking?
Huge benefits. A brisk 20-minute walk gets the oxygen flowing, helps your breathing, lubricates joints. It's about consistency.
Makes sense.
And even low-impact stuff like running in place, but really pumping your arms fast that can quickly change your physiology, boost energy.
You hear stories about people living really long lives who stay active, don't you?
All the time. They keep moving. And the good news is, it really is never too late to start adding more movement.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Now, here's one I found interesting. Sprouts for digestion.
Yes, sprouts. They're highlighted as being really beneficial for digestion and gut health.
Why sprouts specifically?
They contain naturally occurring probiotics, and these are seen as, well, maybe the best way to support your gut health.
Better than probiotic supplements.
The emphasis is on getting them naturally from foods like sprouts. It also ties into the raw versus cooked idea. Raw foods like sprouts keep their natural enzymes, which helps digestion.
Ah, okay. So the sprouting process itself makes them nutrient dense too.
Incredibly nutrient dense, yeah,
Yeah.
which supports everything, including digestion. And the gut, as many sources say, is where health really begins.
Right, the gut microbiome, it all seems connected. And this brings us back to alkalizing again, doesn't it?
Right.
You mentioned it's essential for detoxification.
It is. The idea is that toxins create acidity, and that acidic, toxic environment makes it hard for the body to repair itself, leading to poor health, inflammation.
So alkalizing helps break down that acidity.
At a cellular level, yes. It prepares the body, essentially, to get rid of those toxins more effectively.
And does being more alkaline affect anything else, like how we use nutrients?
Massively. That's
Yeah.
a key point.
Yeah.
An alkaline state is said to significantly improve nutrient absorption rates.
So even if you eat well, if your body's acidic and toxic,
You might not be absorbing all the goodness. Exactly.
yeah.
Alkalizing helps clean up the internal environment, repair the digestive system potentially, making everything else you do, good food, supplements, work better.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, next topic. Fascia. I've heard this term, but maybe explain the connection to skin health.
Sure. Fascia is described as sort of like this connective tissue, sometimes compared to fat, that can get compacted or tight.
And that affects skin.
The thinking is yes.
Yeah.
This compaction can contribute to things like cellulite and wrinkles.
Okay. And there's a tool mentioned, a fascia blaster.
Right. The idea behind using it is to physically break up that compacted fascia.
What does that do?
It's thought to stimulate collagen, improve lymphatic drainage, basically help smooth things out, both on the body and the face.
Huh. There was a personal story about using it for lips and scars.
Yeah, quite a specific anecdote about seeing improvement there.
Yeah.
And apparently, fascia release is a known practice in South America.
Interesting origins. Now, there was also a really different take on dark spots or sunspots.
Oh, yes, quite provocative. The suggestion is that they might actually be acid burns.
Acid burns from the sun.
Sort of.
Yeah.
The idea is the body might be trying to push out acidity through the skin, and the sun kind of activates or reveals it. So it links back again to the importance of being alkaline internally.
That's a wild concept. Completely changes how you might think about them.
It does. And related to that, there was another story about freckles fading after a liver cleanse that involved lots of greens, again linking internal state to skin appearance.
Fascinating connections. Were there any natural remedies mentioned for skin stuff?
A couple, yeah, like using carrot juice topically, or even cod liver oil for sun protection and helping get a tan. Very natural approaches.
Carrot juice and cod liver oil. Okay. So, bringing back to supplements for a moment, you mentioned the preference for a specific line because it's not synthetic.
Right. The key reasons given are that it focuses on alkalizing and provides real nutrition, things the body recognizes, unlike synthetic compounds, which, as we said, might just get stored by the liver and could potentially be harmful.
So it's about working with the body's systems.
Exactly. And the program aims to be comprehensive, covering things like amino acids, too, all through these alkalizing and nutritional products.
And the idea is that by alkalizing, you're creating an environment where the body can fix many issues itself?
That's the philosophy, that creating that balanced internal environment can potentially address thousands of issues by allowing the body to function optimally.
Wow. Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. We've covered so much ground, the importance of alkalinity, clean nutrition,
The power of oxygenation,
With-
simple breathing,
movement, and flexibility, even those easy stretches.
the surprising role of sprouts for gut health.
How alkalizing fuels detoxification and helps you actually use nutrients.
That whole fascia and skin connection, the alternative view on sunspots.
And why quality whole food supplements matter. It really paints a picture of interconnectedness, doesn't it?
It really does. It shows how seemingly small, consistent actions in different areas can build up to create real long-term health and vitality. It's not about one magic pill.
Absolutely. It's quite empowering, actually. We really hope you listening can take these principles and think about how they might fit into your life, even starting small.
Yeah, consistency is often the key.
Well, this has been fantastic. To find out more, be sure to reach out to Laura Belg at https.laurabelg.com. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.